Fantasy movies are a genre that seems to have gripped audiences from the start of cinema, and the future of cinema seems to be ready to keep this trend going, as there are some amazing upcoming fantasy movies looking to get released in the next year or two. And this list will give you my recommendations of the top 5 upcoming fantasy movies getting released in 2024 and 2025 that I think all viewers of this channel will really enjoy. At number 5, it is The Tigers Apprentice, an upcoming fantasy movie based off of the trilogy series by Lawrence Yep. This series mixes ancient Chinese mythology into modern life in San Francisco, where a young boy named Tommy Lee finds out that he is part of a long lineage of magical protectors known as the Guardians. And now he must unlock his hidden powers so he can fight the evil forces that threaten the world and try to cause its destruction. So a pretty run-of-the-mill plot from the sounds of it, but with a Chinese twist, so definitely an interesting premise. And this animated fantasy movie will be releasing to cinemas near you on January 19, 2024, so be sure to keep an eye out for that. At number 4, it is Red Sonja, an upcoming sword and sorcery movie following the legendary character from the Conan the Barbarian franchise. Fantasy film fans will remember a Red Sonja movie getting released in 1985, but it is still unclear as of yet whether this upcoming fantasy movie will be a remake of the classic 1985 film or a new story from one of its comic book adaptations. But it has been confirmed that Matilda Lutz will star as Red Sonja, and Rona Mitra and Robert Sheehan will feature in supporting roles within the film. In the directing chair, it will be MJ Bassett, who is best known for his work on the Reacher television series. Red Sonja has some amazing source material to base a movie off of, and I am optimistic it may be one of the best upcoming movies of 2024. At number 3, it is 1000 Sword in the Stone, which will be aiming to retell a more accurate retelling of the original Sword in the Stone story, in which a teenage boy in the year 1000 in medieval Italy will inherit the legendary magical sword and use it to defeat the evil forces that are trying to bring around Armageddon. This movie is set to be the first film of a trilogy, so it is good to see that this may end up becoming a more in-depth and heavily character-driven fantasy movie than we are used to. This movie has been penned by Guido Maria Giordano, who has already won several awards for his script, so it is safe to say that 1000 Sword in the Stone may end up becoming one of the best fantasy films of 2024, and it is set to release in late October of next year. At number 2, it is In the Lost Lands, an upcoming fantasy movie based off of the book of the same name written by legendary author George R.R. Martin. The primary plot of this novel is around a sorceress who travels to the Lost Lands in search of a magical power that will allow her to transform into a werewolf. And this upcoming movie will star Dave Bautista and Mila Jovovich as the 2 primary stars of the film, and it is set to be released in February 2024. And I for one cannot wait for this movie. The cast is great, George R.R. Martin is one of the best world builders in history, and Paul Anderson is a great director, so there is no reason to not expect In the Lost Lands to be an amazing movie overall. And the top spot on this list goes to the upcoming Lord of the Rings: The War of the Rehem animated movie, which will further establish the history and lore of the Lord of the Rings universe, as we will delve into the story of Helm Hammerhand and his wars against the Dunlendings and the eventual founding of the stronghold of Helm's Deep. Miranda Otto has been confirmed to reprise her role of Éowyn, and she will be the narrator of this film. And Brian Cox has been brought on board to be the voice of Helm Hammerhand, who should be a name familiar to all historical and fantasy movie fans. The current writer's strike has delayed the release of this movie, but The War of the Rehem is currently set to be released in December 2024. And I for one am hopeful that this will be a great addition to the Lord of the Rings franchise and open opportunities to expand the world in a more meaningful way. So lastly, I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please do like and share this video with others. And remember, if you love anything to do with historical movies, historical TV shows, or fantasy movies, then subscribe to my channel History Spark, as I post videos on these topics each and every week. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.